Worms. They're slimy and gross, but also really cool creatures. They're found in the ground, but be careful not to eat them because if you do, they can hatch lots and lots of eggs in your body. Have you ever dug up worms in your backyard? Well, you're basically a scientist. Those icky, gooey, slimy worms are super important for studying the brain. Each and every one of us has a brain, and it's what we use to talk, eat, play, run, and do anything. In our brains, there are special little bodies that help us do all of these fun things. Super smart and sometimes crazy scientists want to know how the brain works, and they use worms to do it. Worms also have special little bodies that are just like the ones in our brain. The cool thing about these special worms is that their bodies are see-through. So, using their crazy scientist tools, they look at worms to see how it moves and how its special little bodies act. This lets them know more about how we are able to ride the swings on the playground, scream really, really loud on roller coasters, and eat really yummy ice cream. Even though worms can be gross and yucky, they're actually pretty neat.
Do you remember when you were a kid and used to dig in the ground to find worms, or pick them off the ground and throw them at your sibling? Well, did you know that these worms are super important to scientists when studying the brain? Scientists use these worms because they have special cells called neurons. These neurons help send information from the brain throughout the body, which is very similar to us. So just think of it as a very small animal that has the potential to unlock the secrets that are fundamental to studying the human brain. Nematode brains help scientists discover how our brains function simply by studying the species. These nematodes also have a clear body so that they can see where the cells locate themselves. They are also found on any environment, ocean, soil, freshwater, you name it, they'll be found. You never want to put these worms inside your mouth, though. If ingested, they can reproduce inside of you and make you feel really sick. So just remember that when you were a kid and always dug in the ground to find these worms, you're actually investigating them on a different perspective, just like a scientist does.
I'm sure you've learned a lot about the nervous system and C. elegans in your basic introductory biology classes. But have you ever wondered just why C. elegans are such good organisms for studying the nervous system? In a practical sense, C. elegans are very small worms. That makes them very easy to store in the lab, and they are by far cheaper than many other model organisms. Also, C. elegans have transparent bodies. That means that they can be viewed under a simple light microscope that you can find in even middle school labs. To dive in a little deeper, C. elegans are by far simpler creatures to study than a human, a monkey, or even a mouse. C. elegans also have their genome fully sequenced, so we can easily study their genes. Other helpful traits that C. elegans possess are their biological sex. Most C. elegans are hermaphrodites, and that means that they can self-reproduce. They also have very short lifespans, generally only up to about 2 weeks, which means that they can mature very quickly while also reproducing really quickly. C. elegans can in fact produce about 1,000 eggs a day. All of these properties together help make simple worms a great organism to help us unlock the secrets of the nervous system.